Hi guys, welcome to another Chesspatzer challenge match. Today is slightly different. I know usually we do handicap matches and they're still on, we love playing them. But just to mix it up, throw a few different variations into time controls, etc. I'll talk about our upcoming matches later on in the video, so don't worry, I'll be telling you about them. In this one, we're going to be playing ChesspatzerUK versus ChesspatzerBARN, our resident vampire. I'll show you him in a second as well. And we're going to be playing a 3-game mini-match where we're going to have 10 minutes each plus 10 seconds increment. And the idea is behind this one is that we'll be able to explain our ideas a lot better than we normally would in the handicap match. So this one's slightly more educational, but it should still be fun. I'll be drawing arrows like a madman. I've used this joke earlier on, but I am the Robin Hood of arrows when it comes to chess streaming and drawing them. So, without further ado, let me introduce my challenger today, which is ChesspatzerUK. He's also, as I said, ChesspatzerBARN. Now this guy's he's a lovely guy. He's always been supporting streamers, not just me. I mean, I found him because I poached him basically from the Ginger GM. It's not quite true, but he's a great guy, and he's been supporting chess for the last year or so, and he's got back into chess himself. This is our webpage, ChesspatzerUK.com. If you go here, you'll be able to see all of the Chesspatzers. You can read some blurb there. But down here in the locker room, meet the Patzers. So I'll load in a second. These are all our Patzers and a little bio about each of us. So, you know, if you want to know a tiny bit more about us, then this is the place to come. This is ChesspatzerBARN. As you can see, he's a vampire. They do exist, so, you know, you should be scared. This one prefers to drink Horlicks rather than blood. But don't think he won't, so don't give him the opportunity. But he's got a little blurb here about how he got into chess and, you know, who's inspired him, etc. So please check him out. Down here you can see his Twitch channel, which I'm going to jump to in a second to see if he's online. This will be his first stream, so go easy on him and definitely go over there and give him a follow. So that's www.twitch.tv/Blazer08. Let's have a quick look. Yep, look, there he is. He's all raring to go. I see he's waiting for my challenge, so at least technical issues he's doing all right. Let me whiz back to Lead Chess. Actually, I don't actually know what his username is. Let's have a look. Can I see his username from here? I think it's Blazer08. I'm going to find him. Yeah, he's in my friends anyway. See, that's the way these challenges should work. Should be straightforward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chuck him a 10 plus 10, and we're going to go from there. And we're both going to obviously talk through why we're making the moves we're making. And then I'm going to look forward to reading back what the vampire has to say later. Also, I just want to mention this, even though he is a fellow Chesspatzer, I am going to try to crush him. Because, you know, what's the point of playing a match unless you're going to go for blood? I mean, he clearly going to. And I think I'm playing Van Helsing to his vampire in this one. So luckily I've got a stack loads of weapons to use against him. So let's fire in the challenge and grab a coffee. Oh. So here we go. Don't be fooled by his rating, because he's pretty dangerous if he wants to be. This is the English opening. Been played loads at top level recently, so it must be good. I mean, we went through a phase of loads and loads of Giocco pianos, and I think they're trying to say it's almost a draw now, which is a bit sad, really. And normally I'd play f5 against this, so I'm going to release this game because in the 3-game match it looks like I'm going to get at least 2 blacks, right? So I'm going to follow up with e5 next time. But I like this opening because we may end up in a Dutch, and we all know I love the Dutch the best. Don't worry, I've got a wad of garlic right next to me just in case he suddenly turns up at my window. But it's daylight here, so unless he's got some block factor 1000, I should be okay. So, I mean, I don't know a million piece of information about the English opening, but you are really trying to control the centre from afar. And you also want to set up challenges on b7. You can get caught out of this loads of times. Loads of people chicken out straight away and play c6 just to blunt the bishop that's coming, but I'm going to go for his king. So this is my plan. So that he's allowing e5, so I'm going to play it because it's a help to play e4 at some point. And as I say, he's just going to try and control the centre across from afar. So I'm going to just keep developing to the centre too. We're going to all build up, and then there's going to be a battle royale around these squares. And hopefully his king if it ends up there, which he should do. So he's sticking to main line. He could have transposed into another variation of the Dutch slash reverse Grand Prix, and he still might. I mean, I could play this now, but the problem is if I play that, I leave holes in my position, so gonna avoid that if I can help it for now. Just gonna threaten to take off this knight, because as I say, my big plan is to play f4. Okay, before I even get to explain it, the reason I've taken his knight and given up my dark square bishop is because I'm gonna weaken f4. Hang on, so I'm just trying to work something out here, whether I can play it straight away. I guess he's just going to play e6 if I do. e3. And again, I will keep getting my coordinates backwards, because it's just the way. Yep, just castle. I think d4 would probably be a good move here, actually, because it's going to force me to push, and if I push, then I have to abandon this plan. Okay, so he's being a little bit cagey, which is okay, but he's giving me the chance to play this. I just got to get my pieces in better squares. So let's develop a piece. The idea is, a real basic plan is to get the queen over, the bishop over, the knight in, and it's checkmate. I mean, that's what Simon Williams will have you say, will say. And I don't know how many times I've tried to do this plan. It never works. But this could be that one time. And again, if you want to win a game of chess, you've got to make your opponent worry. If you give him all straightforward moves, you know, a 1,000 player will hold a 2,000 player. If you don't play with at least some sort of imbalance, like, you know, a different kind of pawn structure or different minor pieces. In this case, we've got 2 knights versus 2 bishops. If you don't have some sort of imbalance like that, you're not winning a game of chess. So let's just defend that for now. And I know it sounds stupid, but this knight is a superb blocker, so the bishop can come out. But I'm going to go with my plan 1 first. And just swing over with the queen. D followed by bishop f4 is the barrier opening. Barrier attack? Barrier opening. So he's going for e4, which is definitely a good idea in this position. Now I've got to decide whether I want to play e4 first. But then if he plays e4, I'm going to just play e5. So I've got to make sure I'm not losing a pawn, because he could take. It's a bit risky opening up the g file, but I don't have to. I don't have to just gambit the pawn, or do I? Let's have a think about it. We've got time. That's the other thing. Because of the time control, I'm actually going to sit and have a think for a change, just for a change, rather than just making a move and trying to work it out afterwards. So e4 is his threat. Now if I play f4, he will just take, I will take, he will take, and then he's got a floating bishop that will be on pre if the knight goes anywhere. So where could I put the knight after that? Could put the knight here, I don't know. I could also just play the queen in like I really want to. Well, I want to play the queen in, but what do I do if he plays e4? Do you know what? I think I've got quite a dangerous attack there. After queen in, e4, pawn up, pawn takes, bishop takes. I then have knight g4. Now I know his bishop's going to be defending this pawn, as is his knight. But the rook will be attacking this bishop after the knight move. Oh no, because it's defended. Yeah, this is a good plan, because the rook's going to defend the pawn. Let's do this. It's not going to defend the pawn. What the hell am I talking about? But when I play knight g4, the rook will attack the bishop, so the bishop's going to come back. Maybe this isn't so bright. Maybe I can't play f4. I'm going to make f4 work. I don't care. f4 must work. I need it to work. So we'll find a way. I mean, I'm not bothered about sacrificing a pawn in this opening. I find with the Dutch, when I win games, it's never because I positionally ground out my opponent. And funny enough, Simon Williams does. He blockades, he restrains pieces, etc. I'm pretty much do or die. I mean, I'll end up either with no material and just get hoovered up at the end, or I will tactically destroy him on h2. That's my target. So let's see how this goes. Still, this is definitely still the best move, so he should definitely just follow through. There's no point in building up this position to not play this move. So Hopefully it just, well, he should play it. There's no reason. The only other moves I can think of, he might get a bit cagey and try and play H4, but I don't like H4 because maybe I'll just play this. I know it's slow, but how do you stop it? Excuse me. Good. I'm glad he followed through. Now I've got to decide whether I'm going to sacrifice or not. I mean, I do have other options. I mean, if I take and he takes, the good and bad news of the position is he will have some really bad pawns over here, which I should be able to attack with my knight. And then play possibly b6 and bishop a6, and it's real hard to hold on to this. So that's a plan, which is the Simon Williams plan, which is probably the right plan. Or we can go for the pawn sack line. But then now that a few more pieces have moved, let's see if I can see a little bit further. So pawn up, pawn takes, bishop takes. Ah, no. I thought I had knight takes here, but I don't, because rook takes defends the bishop. So that's rubbish. So pawn up, pawn takes, bishop takes, knight here, bishop g3. Then what have I got? There's no knight in, unfortunately. I don't have this, because that would be a killer. So maybe I have to go for plan B, which is a little bit disappointing, because I did want to crush him. Okay. Well, maybe taking with the rook is possibly best here then, because as I say, if you take with a pawn, you are weakening this quite badly. And as long as there's no checks coming along this diagonal, which you've got to always watch for this, because queen's coming over and checking and winning this pawn and or whatever else you've got lying around happens often in the Dutch. It's one of the Dutch weaknesses, this diagonal. So we'll see. I don't think Mark Headden would like you to say that, Percy. That's pretty much one of his main openings. D4, bishop f4. Because he plays it a little bit more aggressively than, say, the London system. Because he just basically castles queenside as quickly as possible. Right, so as stated, I'm probably going to go with this plan. I'm just checking that there's no naughtiness of taking here. The queens are on. I've got this square covered. There's no check here, so I think I can get on with this. Because there's two places the bishops can go. It can go here and attack this one, or it can go here and attack this one. So let's see. Yeah, because even queen here, I'll just still play this because it defends and gets on with the attack. So this is quite a hard pawn to defend. I mean, if he starts moving his bishop back to defend the pawn, that's good because the bishop's a big defender, or basically a giant pawn here, and he'll weaken his defense of the knight. So perhaps my other plan can come in, sack the rook and then checkmate. Not anymore, Percy, funny enough. I found the Dutch Leningrad works really well against the London system. And I don't know, and this is something I need to do, and I suggest people do it, though it's really difficult, is to go through your games, especially when you play online, because you get a percentage of how many wins you get in a certain opening as black and white. And I suspect my Leningrad Dutch against the London system is actually really, really high. So, as I say, the queens have been offered. He's also defending the pawn, smart. But I can also bring in the bishop here. Where's that going to push his queen? We could play f3. Seems a bit wet. Also, I could bring the knight in straight away and threaten this. But what happens after he just plays something like h3? The knight comes back. And then he can play h5. So I'm not really getting anywhere with that yet. But obviously I don't want to swap queens particularly. It's just I'm trying to work out whether bishop here is actually any good. Bishop here. Now if he moves to queen and attacks the knight, pawn up, and then you can still play f3 or h3. No, you can't play h3. That one's off. No, this one can still be played. I don't want the queens off. This is the I can always, funny enough, get my bishop and attack this way as well, perhaps. So how much do I care about f3? So I play here, f3. Then what do I do? Am I just coming back? I can come back to here, I guess. I'm going to do that. No, I'm okay, thank you. Because, funny, obviously on e6 I'm also threatening this pawn as well. So, I wouldn't be shocked to see queen here. But I don't know, f3. I kind of like f3 just because it weakens his king position. I want these pawns to move. And then I've got 4 pieces attacking his king. Which is means any sort of pawn break on here should mean disaster. Should mean. To be honest, the only opening recently that I've not liked playing, and it's the one I'm going to work on before the new season, is the e6 Sicilian. I gotta say, I'm not happy to play against that yet. I mean, Carlsen had a good idea. He came up with, well, he saw this idea, and it's a good idea. It's to play an early b3 and fianchetto that bishop against the e6 Sicilian. And I need to look into it because I don't know exactly when you're supposed to play b3. But yeah, the e6 Sicilian is probably the only opening at the moment that I don't want to see on the board. Anything else, I'm quite happy. Caro Khan, Nadorf, Dragon. Oh, centre counter as well. That's another one. I guess no. Yeah, let me take that back. I don't like the e6 Sicilian, but the centre counter is my number one. Because there's no real good way to play a bog standard attack against it. I mean, it's you're not probably going to get mated as white, but it's so hard to generate anything against it. So you have to be really good with where you put your pieces. And positional chess, I'm not so hot on. There we go, f3. Not a bad idea. Like I say, all I'm trying to do is make his pawns move. Like, the dark squares are pretty weak now, and that's one advantage of me not having a dark square bishop. So I don't want to lose any time, so I'm gaining tempo by attacking this pawn. I suspect queen here, because that makes me... Well, maybe I should just bring the knight back and just... The problem is this knight's doing nothing. Let's do a little route of where it can go if it comes back this way. No. No. So it's not going forward. We can bring it down here, though. So let's see where this goes. Ah, and then I'll maybe attacking this pawn again. So potentially the knight could come back round. But I kind of like the idea also, if queen's here and I play pawn up, that the queen and bishop's tying down the queen. I mean, at some point I can just bring the bishop back up here as well, possibly. The idea is that f3 is now a target. And it's just how I go about getting there. Like I say, it looks long, but if you can't stop it, then it's an idea, right? So have it as an idea until we find out what he does. Do you know roughly what your grade's going to be, Percy? I don't think mine's going to change much. I mean, I had a terrible season last season because I was only playing in opens. That's a much better move, yeah. So this does the same trick. Defending the pawn, but keeping the queen central. So he's still defending f3. Yeah, queen here would have been a terrible move. So that's a good play by Blaze. Now, I can get another piece on here. Because I can play queen f7. And I suspect he'll bring his bishop back. So, what I've got to decide on that is, yes, I've managed to get my goal of making his light square bishop bad. But, if I can't get any more pressure on here, can I get another knight in? I can get another knight in, you know. Maybe we just keep going for this pawn. Oh, 130 is good. So that's a decent standard beat. Well done. First grade. That's really good. My first grade was 36. I'm going to stick with this plan. This is a weakness. Let's go for it. Even if I win that pawn, I mean, if anything, Blaze shouldn't get obsessed with losing that pawn. He needs to really try and get some counterplay going. Because the problem is his pieces are slowly but surely getting sucked into negative places. As I say, this is quite a nice plan. I quite like this. But at the end of that, can he just push the pawn? That's something I've got to consider the whole time. Can just push that pawn. Get rid of the problem pawn by... It's not even sacrificing, really. Oh, well, if it is a sacrifice, say I did just take it. I mean, the situation is literally still the same. Because this pawn is no longer movable. Because it's just facing off against another pawn. So I have two pawns facing off against one pawn. It may as well be one pawn. So your pawn advantage doesn't mean anything. It's basically what I'm trying to get at. Unless you can generate... Well, we'll see. I'll tell you what's happened here. And I'm quite surprised. We're both low on time. I didn't think that was going to be the situation. Let's see if he's if he looks okay. No, he's still okay. He's a little castle vampire here, castle Dracula. He's not. Doesn't look like he's sweating too much. That's a nice setup he's got there. I like that. He's done a good job. Yeah. So don't need to worry about that one yet. But he's just letting this pawn go for a pawn, eh? Well, I'm going to make him defend this. I hope he's not trying to defend this way. This doesn't look good. Because there'll be a target there. I'll tell you what, though. And this is typical of me in chess, is I've forgotten my plan. The problem with playing b6 is the knight can no longer sit there, yeah? So that was actually not thinking at all about my plan. I've just reacted to him there. Because I'm thinking, oh, I can take. But now he can just bring his bishop back. And now I have to decide whether knight here is any good. Perhaps I can go here and start attacking this one. I don't know. This is these are ideas that come from, if you like, the plans that are going on here. Start playing the the Nimzo-Indian. Because these ideas are all Nimzo-Indian ideas. And I flirted with this opening, hence me knowing it. Beanov's making a good point. I don't have anything to challenge this bishop. Currently, it's not that amazing because he's got pawns on dark squares on this side. If the bishop ever comes over here, it's not really got a target. There's no pins. But it is, as you say, because it's not challenged by anything, it could end up being a killer. So, even if I win... so he's given up the pawn. Or has he? I'm just checking to see what he's up to. What is he up to? Maybe he wants to play f4. I think probably has to play f4. He's got to try something. But then my knight's going to come in. I am definitely going to take this. Because what's the point of attacking something if you're not going to eventually take it, yeah? It makes no sense. I mean, it was a plan. It's not necessarily a good plan. But if you've got a plan, it's better than having no plan. And that's 100% true. So we followed through. I've got a little bit of material. And now it's a question of how do I follow through? I'm noting things like if that rook moves and doesn't defend this pawn anymore, I can take this. Because if he takes back, I'm on his queen. So it'd be interesting keeping an eye on that rook. This is what I do when I don't have a plan and I'm thinking in my opponent's time. I start looking at tricks, see what I can get. Again, something like queen back and knight in, because the rook is attacking the queen, so there's not going to be any takes here, so I'll be on his pawn. Again, easy to defend, but just noting things in his position. Cheers for the follow, Infin 8L, I think. See, and there we go. So because I highlighted it, I don't have to think too much about it. Just check that there's no checks anywhere. There aren't, so I can just take this. I'm just 100% checking that there was no fork. Or is there? Ooh, no, of course not. The pawn's defending yet. So yeah, so I had that in the bag during his time. And that's what you should do when you're generalizing. Like, think of plans in your own time and think of note things in the position like loose pieces, pawn structures. I know this all sounds really grandiose, but to be honest, you hear good players talking about it. There's nothing stopping you thinking about it, right? And just highlighting those two pieces, pawns, sorry, I see that I've got a fork coming as well. So that's something else. I'm just noting it, putting it away in the bank, waiting for later, just in case he gives me something. Cheers for following, Timac. So 2 pawns up. That's a proper advantage now, and now that negates a little bit his two bishop on our open position. Of course, if you win material, the position's going to get open, so there's not a lot you can do about that. So he's attacking the knight and he's defending the pawn. And I would love to attack this some more, but I can't, because I was just going to drop the knight back, and guess what? He just takes it. So, got to move the knight or defend the knight. So, it takes, there's nothing on the f-file, so it looks like the knight's going to have to move. And it could probably just come back. I'm just seeing, the other squares it can come back to is here. I've got to be a little bit concerned about f4 at some point, because it is lined up with my rook. So, I've got to pay attention to that. And I kind of don't like blocking the f-file now that I've got it. So I'm going to come back. But if I come back this way, f4 can be met by bishop back, because the knight defends as well as the queen. Takes. Don't know. I don't want to give him too much play. But this is the kind of thing you should be looking for white. You've got to be looking at your counter-attack when you're down material. You may as well just throw the kitchen sink. In positions where you're not doing great, because it is very easy to make mistakes in chess and blunder hugely. Actually a little bit concerned about this. The knight anywhere, pawn down attacking the rook. But I can do pawn takes attacking the queen first. Okay, so let's do that. So pawn down will be answered by just taking. First, attacking the queen, and then I've got to do something about the rook. I like your spirit, Patzer. And when you want to join the ChesspatzerUK clan, you send me a whisper with your email address and which country or town you're from, and you will be a ChesspatzerUK for real. Always recruiting. No one's turned away. It just become awkward when I get 2 people from the same town. So we might have to move down to street level. Yeah. So pseudo attacking the bishop. It is defended by the queen, and I can attack the rook. No, because he'll just take it. So shut up, Jack. I might just come here and start attacking the f-pawn, because I do. Tactic here. Rook takes, queen takes, pawn down, and he'll skewer my queen and my rook. So I can't play that, which I really would like to have. There. Oh yeah, can I play this first? Yeah, let's get rid of that rook. It's a little bit annoying. I don't like my piece being attacked, because my queen's probably going to have to be elsewhere shortly. And there's one more thing to worry about that I've just realised, is there could potentially be a pin and win of my queen here. So it might be worth taking this, just because I might make a mistake. So rook takes, queen takes, I don't know, pawn down. And if I'm not paying attention, there's a check here that would win my queen. But I am paying attention for now. Now I can win that dark square bishop. No, I can't. He'll just take it. He does have 2 pieces on this. I've got to remember that. I can't just drop the knight in and say, hi! Do you know what? Should we just get rid of this threat? Because it's pretty annoying. And I don't see... Let's just do that. There we go. So we've alleviated this threat finally. So f4 is not as scary as it was before. Yep, okay, so a bit more. He wants to play f4, and I think that's quite right. He should be trying to play f4. I would like, in that case... Can I play this now? 59 seconds, eh? You know what, I'm going to also just break this. Any chance of that happening. I've been caught by this so many times. I'm just moving out of the way. I'm 2 pawns up. I'm just going to make my position a little bit better. Yeah, through a whisper. Just send me your email address, and I'll sort you out. I'll have to send you. There'll be some details. You've got to do a little bit of work for me. Not massive. I mean, you have to write a bio. I need a picture from you. Just going to swap material. I'm material up, so there's no point in not swapping off everything now. But yeah, still waiting for maybe a horrendous. He hasn't made any massive blunders, so well played, Blaze. To be quite frank, to start with. I know you're not listening to me yet, but when you do later on, you've played a good game. And this is definitely not over yet, because though I'm 2 pawns up, those bishops are really strong. So I need to, I'd love to negate one of them. But where am I going after playing that? Maybe I should be trying to hoover these up as well. Oh, the knight isn't doing a good job here. I've got to, again, there's quick little blunders you can make here. Does that lose a piece? I think it does. So knight there's a terrible move, so don't play that. And time is short. Time is definitely short here. You know what? Let's get rid of mating threats. This is making luff. Sorry, luff. Because there was always a chance of a rook coming along and checkmate me on the back rank. So that's a start. I would definitely like to move his bishop away, because it'll be to a slightly worse square. And he's got to watch his time as well. Move, Blaze. Yep, okay. So we have to check the check first. Does that go anywhere? He's just going to go here, so no. Bishop is attacked. Gonna keep it roughly in the position. I just don't want him to gain any time by pushing either of these, which is why I've stuck it on a6. It's just as powerful here as it was. Yeah, I'm going to activate the rook. The rook's going to try and hassle these two. Yeah, will do, Chespatzer Wells. I don't know how I'm going to contact him. I probably could call him, actually. Yeah, I do have his number. But he knew beforehand that he was going to have microphone issues. I mean, White's position's not lost. I think that's something you've got to really take into account here, because there's a fork here at some point. It's looking dicey now. He's giving me a third pawn. But while you've got bishops on the board, there's always chances, especially in open positions. He can mate me. Let's put it that way. But I'm obviously going to be looking out for that number one. He has to move again. He does have to move. No, okay. Done him on time. But position was pretty good for me there anyway. But that was a really good game. So well played, Blazer. That wasn't anywhere near easy. It was ended up being positional. He fended off my terrible attack. Blooming Simon Williams. He's got me dreaming about this rook sacrificing here and queen coming over and checkmate. And it's just never happened for me. I'm hoping it's saved for my second half of my chess career, that I just crush everyone that way. But I don't know. So let's... he may look at the chat now. Can someone talk to him now and ask him? Otherwise I'll give him a quick call. See if we can sort out his sound. I think he's looking at the chat now, funny enough. It looks like he's looking at it. Let me know what he comes up with. And I'll give it a minute and then I'll start the next game. Percy, using rugby analogy. I think that's a bit highbrow. Anyway, we're on a chess channel. This is supposed to be highbrow. Yeah, I don't think that scrum half's really going to ever be panicking about prop forward. Though, now the game nowadays, they're trying to make every single position as fast as possible. So maybe the scrum half should be scared. But then scrum halves aren't little guys anymore. They're big chaps. So maybe it doesn't matter. I think everyone will be the same size. A bit like rugby league. That's why I don't really like rugby. I do like rugby league. It's a lie to say I don't like rugby league. But all the players are the same size. Same size, same speed. Rugby union at least has that difference between the backs and the forwards. Well, we'll get there. Has anyone had a word with... I hope you've had a word with Blaze Road, because I'm going to get on with the second game now. Because obviously we don't want this to go on forever. So I'm 1-0 up in the match as well, which is nice. I will obviously try to crush him 3-0. It's best of 3, so whoever wins 2 games wins the match. But the third game's, you know, you always want to at least nick one off your opponent, / crush them to nothing. So, oh, he's an E5 player. So this is quite fun as well, because I've not really played Blazer Road before. I've played some of the other Chesspatzers many times. Chesspatzer Norway probably more than most. Chesspatzer India quite a few times. This is my first game against Chespatzer Barnsley. And as I say, this is his first stream. So he's going to have issues to work out his end, which we will talk about after the stream. And then he's going to stream again tomorrow, and he's going to take on Chespatzer India, which is a bigger challenge than me. And he's doing it in the handicap match, where they'll both have 5 minutes each. The winner loses a minute from their clock. So this is a mainline Roy Lopez, Spanish opening. At least he didn't play the Berlin defense, which is without a6. So going to just carry on as per normal, just castle. Offer this pawn. I don't really like the open Spanish, so it could be a good choice for him. He hasn't played the open Spanish. He may be going for the martial attack, which I'm quite happy to see if he does. So I'm going to set it. No, I actually made a mistake there. He can take this pawn. It's not over for me, of course, but he could have taken that pawn. And computer from memory is like, it's 0.2 for white, even though you're a pawn down. But it's not a nice position. I haven't actually probably ever won a game from taking it. And the point is, the mistake was, and Blaze should have been paying attention, so when he watches this back later, he should know. C3 is a mistake, because the point is your bishop is now covering your king, so there's no rook over shenanigans, so you can actually just take that. Oops. You can just take it. It's a good move. So I am going to... Do I play rook e1 now? Or should I just play d4 and just carry on? No, let's defend the pawn. It's what I should have done in the first place. When he played bishop e7, I should have played rook e1. So, mistake for both of us. Oh, Lopez sounds like a hero to me. Perfume and chocolate. He must have been raking in the cash from the ladies. And the guys. I don't know why I said that. Guys like chocolate. So we're just going to expand the sensor. This is called something. I don't know what though. Archangel? Or is Archangel when the bishop's on c5? I've got to say, when it comes to Roy Lopez, I've learnt it not from videos, but from the hard way. i.e. losing hundreds of games. And in winning hundreds of games with the same tricks. My favourite trick of all time is where you play bishop d5. Because they've taken this pawn and they've moved this one. Because these two are on pre. And I've won hundreds of games like that. What he's done here, see, this is a classic Roy Lopez mistake too. So you've got the fork in the middle, which is lovely. I mean, all you got to remember is what happens if he takes this pawn, and as long as you've always got bishop here, he can never take it. Even if the bishop works around with pins, you can kick it, blah 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 blah. He comes back, you've defended with the rook. If he ever takes it, you're going to win a piece. And the other trick is he's not actually defending this pawn anymore here. So, okay, he's going to win the light square bishop. So again, we're going to have a dark square bishop battle of... no, I've just realised. I thought he'd lost a pawn, but he hasn't. Yeah, nice. Okay, he's still playing good theory here. Because I don't play against bishop b7 very often, he actually can win the pawn back. So if I do knight takes, queen takes, then he's just got bishop takes. So in fact, I'm just going to drop the bishop back and defend the pawn. Because the point of this is that you build up your centre and you have more space than your opponent. And while they've still got 4 pieces on the board, the more space you take, the more difficult it is for black to move. Hey, Camel Clutcher, also known as Chesspatzer USA. I haven't said to officially online, welcome on board, Chesspatzer USA, but welcome on board. Hopefully we'll be getting a challenge match on with him soon. He's currently our highest ranked Chesspatzer. But he's a patzer, whether he likes it or not, because everyone is. I don't care who you are. Magnus Carlsen still makes mistakes. So, as far as I'm concerned, we're all patzers. Now, 2 plans here. You got a4 and start trying to get your bishop back onto this diagonal, which is pointless now because the king's not there. So I'm not going to play a4, though it's a general strategic move, and I'll probably end up playing it anyway at some point. The other plan is, because his bishop's on b7, the f4 square is now weak, and you have time to dart your knight around. So I'm going to get on with that now. All I've got to keep an eye on the whole time is if does take here lose a pawn, and does take here lose a pawn. I mean, black will should try, rook over, bishop back, g6, bishop in here, because you control f5 of the pawn, and also you start building up pressure along this diagonal, and you're putting pressure against the center as well. So that's black's plan. Let's see how it gets on. I hope he plays that. If he's played any of this, he'll probably play automatic c5 is also an okay move. Try and expand on the queen side. So these are the ideas in the position for black and white. Thanks for the follow, whoever that was. Sorry I missed that. Say hello in the chat, and I'll wave. But yeah, these positions. I mean, personally, this is why I play chess. I like these positions where it's white's choice whether he wants to break open the position or not. It's my choice to take here. It's my choice to push. It's my choice to get the piece out of the way and play f4. And black is basically trying to restrain / have an attack later on. Now this is not a terrible move, but the downside is I can always just kick it, and then maybe introduce a new plan of getting my dart square bishop along this diagonal. Yep, you're right, camel clutcher. Yep, it would indeed lose a pawn. But it's a general plan that people just play without thinking. I mean, I'm not massively enamored by knight c4 either. It looks better than it is. But you're right, yeah, c5 just loses a pawn. You're right. You're right. All right. You're right. When you're right, you're right. And he didn't play it because he's obviously at least paying attention to that. Now the question is, taking does leave a weak pawn on c4 as well. Because I can just bring my knight back. I play d5 and smash open the position. I'm going to be a little bit careful because he wants to open a position at some point. So I probably need to watch d5 come in easily. So maybe taking wouldn't be best. I don't really want to swap any pawns, any pieces at all, to be honest. We're going to leave that one there, and we're going to kick it in a second. Because my original plan was to bring the knight round anyway, and there's no reason why I shouldn't do that. Yes, Beanoff, that is true, but you get the pluses and the minuses for doing this. I also did the same with the bishop g5 Nadorf from the black side. Lost hundreds and hundreds of games. But now I'm pretty good in most lines, and it's through experience, so it's stayed a lot longer in my head. And if you learn by book, you'll know it for that time. And unless you keep playing that opening, which you can't control your opponent choosing an opening, you'll forget. That's just normal. So I'm going to put, like I say, my bishop on this diagonal. So if things start exploding in the centre, I'm going to have two very nice bishops crossing his position, and he's only got the one going for me. And I still got the same plan of bringing in the knight. And then I've got to move this knight out of the way probably, and then possibly f4. I mean, I don't need to have a concrete move by move plan here. I just need to have general ideas, because there's no real tactics. There's not take yet. So okay. So this is a good move, as in like he should be trying to control this diagonal. But I preferred it if the bishop come back this way with g6, because it just makes it awkward for this knight wherever I decide to put it. Yep, chessball is great, and I'm actually playing for the chessball team in the Summer Chess League. So I might get a shout out from John Bartholomew. So keep an eye on Twitter. Follow Summer Chess League and John Bartholomew. I think he might be analysing some of our games. But yes, it's an awesome site. It's come from nowhere and it's grown so quickly. I don't actually care if he takes, as long as I can always take back with my pawn and maintain my centre. I'm happy. So I'll allow this, because it's only going to make this bishop a little bit better as well. Yeah, if you basically type into Google, because I don't know the website address, it's probably summerchessleague.com, but if you put Summer Chess League London, you'll see what I'm talking about. And I'm playing for Chessables, so you'll see my name there. They called me a YouTube star, which is actually they haven't called me that at all. They called me a he's listening, good lad. They called me a YouTuber. I was like, yeah, you don't really have to say much more than that because it is what it is. So this is a good move because now the knight doesn't have a straightforward plan of popping him, which is why I need to do a new plan of either the F pawn or the H pawn. And then the H pawn's out because he just takes it. So that's easy. Now we just got to find a place to put this knight so we can play F4. Might have to even bring the rook back. So there's a few things I need to do to adjust my position here. And I'm waiting for C5 so I can just push this pawn. But he's not doing anything silly yet. So again, he's playing absolutely fine. I can bring the knight back. That is the good news. The knight can come back because the bishop unusually is defending here, which doesn't always happen. So I'm going to get on with this. Rook over and in F4. Okay, Camel, you're not wrong, but don't suggest plans until after I can't play them anymore because it's not really fair. I don't want to, you know, it shouldn't be us against BlazerO. It's me against BlazerO, and then you guys, once I've made a blunder or I miss a good move, say afterwards because that actually helps. And yes, I know about this plan too, but this is the same plan. This is a plan too. This is a Peter Svidler plan. I saw him play this game and he crushed whoever the GM was that he played. So there's more than one way to skin a cat in chess. Though you shouldn't go around skinning cats. It's not very nice. They don't like it. So that's the fun of chess as well. There's always more than one plan. And as long as you've got a plan, be it bad or whatever. Is he going to play F? No. I'm not fearing this because I'm just going to take. So the F5 is an idea. At least he'll be trying to do something with the position. But I'm just going to get on with this. And if I can, play all the way to F5. Because I'd like this knight to have a life. It has no life at the moment. And it's why I like the Peter plan. Because put your knight back here and put your knight here, yeah. Do you know what? I've seen a really good Bobby Fischer plan as well. Where you actually do sacrifice this pawn. The knight can't be here. You play G3, gaining time. You then push your king up. And then you attack down the H file. It's in his 16 memorable games. I started looking through them and then stopped. I need to get back to that. But there's loads of nice attacking plans in the Roy Lopez. They're just a bit slow. Yeah, you can definitely suggest ideas for black. That's fine. I don't mind that at all. But yeah, I mean, this is a typical break. Now he's got a knight here defending this pawn. And the bishop's defending that pawn. This would be typical. Now, good side for white on this is if he does play that, I can just push the pawn. Because there's nothing afterwards. These two pushes, I'll just respond with one or the other push. So that would lock up his queenside play. And then I can actually get on with the kingside play, which is what I'm threatening anyway. Just pawn up and then pawn up. Maybe even takes. We'll have to look at all the takes in a second as well. And just bring the knight back in. Whoa! Board issues. Can we go back to normal, please? Reset. So I'm not going to think about that one. Straight in. Cheers for the cheers. Infinal. What do you want to be called? I know you put an 8 there, but is that supposed to be a what is that? Infinal? What are we doing? So, okay. He's bringing his knight back in the game. It wasn't doing a lot, to be fair. Now he doesn't have to worry about the takes. It's not really going to drop in here, though. And to be honest, this counterplay probably was going to be F5 at some point. So I am just going to get on with what I said. Because what's the point of having a plan? Oh, yeah, and I was just about to say, I can always work my bishop back round as well at some point. But first, let's play this. I mean, this has pluses and minuses as well. Because, as I say, he can bring his rook over. He can put some pressure here. You can't worry about everything in chess. Sometimes you just have to make moves and it'll either be a good move or not, and you'll find out later. My plan was always to play F4, which is a stolen idea, but that's why you should look at other people's games, because it just gives you ideas. I mean, I'm threatening to win a pawn for a start, so he needs to respond to that. That's another slight downside of bringing your knight here. This is no longer defending here. And it's quite easy for me to keep building pressure, because this bishop, which isn't usually on B2, is pretty strong. pretty strong. So from black's point of view, this knight's not doing a lot. So just bring this knight back, because it does exactly what I said on the tin. It defends the pawn. It improves the knight because the knight's not doing anything there. And at some point, he could even take this, because the knight coming back round, it can sit on e5. So taking isn't the worst move. Okay, the knight back's also a good move. And he can still take later if he wants. But I'm going to push on probably. I was already planning to play f5. Because I can't play knight here, because then he does just take. But that was the other option, I think, there. I think he could have definitely considered. And maybe he did. You can consider taking, because you open your bishop. And you give yourself a nice square where the knight can't be moved by a pawn. It's an outpost. So it wouldn't have been a terrible idea. Which he's still threatening, so let's stop that now, because that's actually a really good plan. I kind of walked into that one. That's a bit of a shame. So at f4 was, I should have considered f4 a bit harder there, because taking was actually really strong. So takes, rook takes, just knight back. What would I have done? I guess I would have had to play c4. Just keep trying to challenge this, but it would have been a different battle. So there was definitely a chance for him. Now I don't have to take. I can take whenever I want. And in fact, I think I like my bishop being here now. I think the pin's going to be good, because the rook will be attacking the knight too, if I ever take here. So the question is getting my pieces into the right squares. Yep. And I'm just going to work my bishop back round. And see where we go. Hey, rook and eagle. Yeah, so any pushes, as I say, I was always going to just close it up. This bishop, I know it looks terrible, but as I said, the plan is to get it back round this way. Even if it goes to e3. Oh, there's a check here. Does that do anything? You should always check for checks. I don't think it's very scary at the moment. Maybe later, though. But the point is, the bishop can sit here, the queen can come up behind it, and then we can start attacking again. We've already got the f-pawn waiting. It's waiting. You don't need to just take just because you're there. Just wait. It may become a point where taking's even better. And as I say, if I have a bishop floated over here, I care, don't care. Do I care? I care. If he takes... Okay, I'm first to this line, but he can challenge. This is not going away, guys. I may have to do some neutralising over here on the queen side. So he's doing well to generate something on this side of the board, because at the moment the king side's mine. I couldn't just ignore that move, unfortunately, because if he takes and I take, he actually has a protected passed pawn, which is not something you want if it gets to an endgame. Obviously you have to get to an endgame, but don't allow it. Don't give your opponent a chance. Only do it if you've got a full-on checkmate attack coming. Okay, so knight in. Biggest threat is that he's going to fork my pieces. He's forking me up. And luckily, I don't know. But chess is very nice sometimes. Sometimes your plans are the right plans because they stop stuff that you weren't even considering. And I can play this afterwards. But bishop back. Defense. I've missed a trick. The check. I've missed it. I may be losing the exchange here. I may be losing the exchange. In fact, I am losing the exchange. But that's chess, and it just shows you, like, even when you know what you're talking about most of the time, you can still make one move blunders. Oh, he missed his chance there. Just queen check. There's no way to block it. I can't block it with anything, so I'd have to move my king. Knight check, and that's it. I have to take. Otherwise, it's mate. So, feel bad for Blaze there. He had another chance. He's had a couple of chances in this game already. And now, he is slowly but... I don't want him to play h6 straight away. h6 would be annoying. I'm going to play bishop here first. Then I'm going to play my queen up. Then I'm going to play here, because it stops him playing h6. And then my plan is literally complete. I've just got to move this knight out the way, and then take on g6. Yep, that's why I'm a patzer. Infinite 8. Infinite. I'm just going to call you 8. Infinite. Infinite? Is that a real word? Don't think so. But yeah, I checked for that check, but wasn't paying attention to the knight g5. So what should I have played? I mean, it's my turn on the clock, but what should I have played? Because he was going to go here anyway, right? So what could I have played? I guess just queen here. Queen e2 was the right move. Yeah. So I should have played queen e2. So that was a blunder. To play bishop back. Too keen to get on with my own plan. Okay, so he's locked the queen side, so there's no trouble over on the queen side anymore. So we're going to forget about the queen side. As far as I'm concerned, from this side of the board, I don't care. Which is probably some terrible advice, but for now, I just got to yoink everything over this side of the board. Yeah, the knight's come back, but do I allow that check? No, because there's no check now, because now the queen defends this square. Well, this be interesting. Is he going to play f6? If I go there and he plays f6, what do I do there? f6. Because if I come back, he may be able to play g5 and lock the king side. I kind of like seeing f6 anyway, because it'll make his bishop look really sad. Because all the pawns will be on dark squares. I guess the only thing I've got to worry about is he may be able to come out this way at some point. I need a move to get rid of this knight. I think f6 is probably right here. h6. Well, I don't know about that. Don't know about that one. Don't know win his queen. Blaze! Blaze! What's going on? You played so well. Yeah, but he was attacking my bishop as well. Zizuma Zamti? I'll get there somewhere. But this kind of thing happens in chess all the time. You've seen me, like, just before this stream started, I hung my queen. So, you just forget. You get like, oh yeah, I've got to get rid of this piece. And you're not paying attention to your opponent's last move. And that's something where, especially online, you will fall for it. That's why it's always worth playing on. And just blatantly leaving your queen on pre to attack a queen. Because someone might miss it. I mean, 19 times out of 20, they'll take your free queen. But maybe they won't, and you'll take his free queen. So, happens. Especially with time pressure. But that was a good game. There was a lot going on there. I hope you understand the richness of the position of the Ruy Lopez for both sides. And I made my fair share of blunders in this one too. f4 wasn't really ready yet. So that was blunder number 1. Because as I say, he just takes and then brings his knight back round to a lovely outpost. And the second one was just a straight material loss. Which was caused by this move that I just didn't consider properly. Just queen e2 was the move. And I missed it. Because I was carried away with getting my own plan. And that happens a lot too. You go with your own plan. And you get nothing. Hey Aragman. Because here he should have just gone queen check. And he would have won the exchange. And here finally, yeah, you can't play h6. Same idea, but you have to play f6. And then, like Zuma, I may have played h3 anyway. I'm not sure how much I like takes. I mean, it'd be pawns out the way of his king, so it's probably a really good idea. But we'll see. What title? Blazer Rowe is Chesspatzer Barnsley. Let me point him out to you. See? Chesspatzer Barnes. If you go to www.chesspatzerzunite.com, there he is. Chesspatzer Barnes. Those that don't know, I'm ChesspatzerUK. But yeah, come and check out my website. We've got we've got a couple of new people. Some of these you would have seen before. I'm going to get them more involved as well. They don't know it yet. but I'm going to be putting pressure on them to play. They do know. This is our newest member. He's in the chat, Benov. He's Chesspatzer South Africa. And our next newest is Chesspatzer USA, which is Camel Clutcher. So again, if you want to find out more about them, just check out the website. But today is Blazer Row / ChesspatzerBARN Day. See, normally I'd shout at my opponent, but I'm guessing he's just talking through his pain. Let's see what his face looks like. He doesn't look too upset. He could resign and get on with the next game, but he doesn't want to. He wants to carry on. Cool. So I'm just gonna quickly put the kettle on. So it's a real short break, just so I do that, and then we'll play the last game. I've won the match, so sorry about that, Blazer Row. But vampires, they need to be put down. They go around, they drink people's blood. It's not on. So stop doing that. Anyway, I'll be back. Whoops. Sorry about that. I'm back. Let's get the rematch on. Thanks for the follow. Zima Zuma Zama. I'm going to get this name right. Zizuma Sasamti. So if he plays the English again, I'm going to play a slightly different line because I don't want to show you guys all the same stuff. Cool. So I'm going to play the only other line I know, which is E5. And this may or may not end up being the same opening. I could play F4 and we have the same opening. But I'll try not to play that. This is what I used to play against the English. This is a more direct way. It's like a reverse Sicilian. Well, obviously blacks moved down here. So these are all straightforward. He's going to feel way more comfortable in this because this is a more English type play. Straight away I'm losing a piece if I'm not paying attention. I don't think C3 is particularly good here, so I'm not going to play that either. I think I just play, from memory, I think it's Knight B6. I could also come back, funny enough. There's no reason why I couldn't come back. The thing is, because I want to castle queenside and attack his king, so I guess knight here for now. Knight up, bishop E6, queen D7, castle queenside, bishop H6, H4, H5, H4, checkmate. I think that's the plan. That sounds easy. I'll just do that. I'm not 100% sure what he's going to... I mean, queen here is a good move. I mean, this is his target. That is a... I'm going to carry on for now. Just got to be aware that when he moves D6, which is the reverse dragon, it's actually the English, but you know what I mean. See, rocking, as long as you've got a plan. Don't worry, Harry's coming, Benov. He's coming. So this is more... Okay, this is more positional. The dragon setup is him taking here and him maybe bishop here and in attack himself. I would prefer to have seen from his point of view A3 and in B4. He should be realising where my knights are, that I'm looking to castle queenside. He's also blocked his queen coming out, which is another idea in the dragon. Which, as I say, pins this and attacks e4. So I'm going to carry on, just making sure there's no naughty knight moves. If I do that straight away, he's got knight g4, which that's going to be my best piece for some time. So I'm going to cover g5. I mean, this is a plan too, don't get me wrong. He's still trying to attack this, but I'm going to play f6, g5 and h5. So I'm not too fussed yet. So he may be trying to play knight here next to attack this. So only problem with ever playing f6 is you may be liable for a check here. You may have to be invoiced, and if you haven't got the money to pay it, they're selling the debt collectors. So you've got to watch out for checks along this diagonal if you ever play h6, because many a time it'll be over. Yep, this is Yugoslav attack down the tempo. This is how I used to play against the English. I much prefer now, because I play the Dutch, to try and get a Dutch/reverse Grand Prix setup. Because you should try to play openings that have the same. Oh, don't get me wrong, I play the Yugoslav attack as white. But I believe the Yugoslav attack as white is tough to get through, even with the extra tempi. So with black, it's almost impossible. But I'm going to go for it anyway, because it'll make for hopefully an exciting game. We'll see. I mean, even d5 isn't a terrible idea. And that, again, is an idea in the dragon. So if you play the English, you should probably play the dragon too. Which is why Simon Williams... well, he said he got to an IM just playing the English. But he got there by playing the English and the dragon. Because they're very similar. Because lots of lines of black. I mean, I'm going for the most aggressive line I can. But loads of lines for black, if I castle king side and just play normally... is just a dragon a move up, which you know, everyone knows the dragon's dangerous. Well, it's funny, Percy. I mean, I won a lot of games with this setup, and the point being, I was playing people lower down rated, so I was playing bad chess and thinking that I was good because I was getting results. And then I went up a little bit. I got up to 1-6. I think I got up to 164 ECF, which is like 1950 FIDE. And then I started playing people that were the same rating or higher, and they all destroyed me because I realised my chess is just too loose. And ever since I played against these guys, I've got way better. My rating's gone so low, but I'm such a better player. Just going to castle, as I say. I may not even play... I don't have to play... G5 here. I may just get on with H4, H5. I've got to save a tempi somewhere. Luckily, he's given me some. That's a tempi. And moving your knight away is also a tempi. Yeah, Rockin, just don't back down. If you opposite side castle, you have to go for it. You get like one move. Like in this situation, had he had his pawns the other way around, and he was pushing this way. This is a good move, by the way, D5. Good move. I'll come back to that in a second. The only move I would allow myself in this position would be H6, and it seems weird, but it's really hard to push that pawn once you played A6, and it's the reverse for white, obviously. And then I'll just get on with chucking the H pawn down the board. Now I have to react to this because there's an attack in the centre, which is the way you're supposed to play against attacks on the wing. So fair play. D5 is a good move. D4, sorry. Also makes sense of this move and this move. So now I've got to decide what to do. Firstly, I want to push. So if I push, the knight's going to come back. And he'll be attacking my pawn twice. But then I can push again, which is what I want to do. I want to get on with this pushing. The only thing I've got to watch out for is if he tries to fork me. Which he can't currently. So, not going to help him. If I take, he can take back with either piece. And I've helped his position. The light square bishop's out. Etc, etc. So I still need... This is a big weapon for him. So I need to blunt it a bit. But I have left holes. But holes I'm hoping I can plug. So we'll see how this goes. But again, he's playing alright. I mean, I think in this sort of situation, when you're playing a higher rated player, it's just not to panic. There's nothing wrong with his position here. My attack is slow. I'm not playing F4 anytime soon. This is a good move. Counter-attacking move. The only thing I would be thinking about for white is how to get this bishop back in the game. So I'll be really considering f3 as a follow-up move at some point. And as I say, I don't really want his knight to come in here because it hassles my bishop. And I do myself want to play f4. So I think g4 is coming without really thinking too much about this. So I'm going to do it. Well, I'll be looking at f3 as a move to break open because this bishop and this rook really dangerous. I mean, the other idea, Rooken, is just to avoid opposite side castling. Just don't do it. I mean, it's your choice, right? You don't have to hunt out that dragon. If you're scared of that dragon, then you should. This is another good move. So, casual move of taking, takes, is then threatening pawn down. So, I have to decide whether I care if he takes this knight. I probably don't. The knight's not doing a lot, but maybe don't swap pieces. Maybe just bring another piece into the game. The other square he might be going for is this one, but I'll just take. So maybe just because what's this knight doing? It's not defending, it's not attacking. I guess the thing is, once it's here, at least it's possibly helping me play this move as well, which I think I want. This is obviously my plan, so this helps that. Swapping would just be a terrible idea. And in general, if you're attacking, you don't want to swap pieces anyway. If you're defending, obviously you do, but he hasn't got an attack yet. He's only got a rook attacking me and a knight that's in a good square. So there's no need to panic. Yeah, I was going to say, knight in might be a good move anyway, because if I take... Well, I'm going to have to take, because he's ganging up here. And the only other option is to go here. So let's have a quick look at that first. So what about knight here? Threatening to come in here. How about takes? Pawn takes knight here. But then we get a lot of swaps. A lot of swaps. And the other thing is, if I take here, perhaps he's learning from the last game. He's got knight in here, and that's a really strong knight. So I don't like that. And what am I talking about knight here? I'm just going to lose my queen. I'm sure you're all sitting there laughing at me. So I have to take. So no, he's, you know, I've overestimated my position here because knight in is actually really strong. Because the push isn't coming yet because this is not defended. You just take it and say thank you very much. I don't want to swap queens, but maybe I have to. Maybe I have to just pretend that I'm good at positional chess and win that way. But no, he's played well in this game. Because you know what he didn't do? He just didn't panic. I mean, there's not a lot stopping this. I think I have to do this. Which is a shame. So much for my launching the kingside attack. Maybe f6 was just too slow.
Yeah, but it's all right for her to say it, but not us.
Oh.
What do you say, Lord?
So superficially attacking this one. Probably a really dangerous one to take because then he'll bring his rook over. Not fussed about him taking this one because I think pawn up will probably eventually win that one.
Worry about.
But the whole point of this knight was so that I could go here. Which I'm going to do. I think that knight's annoying for him.
And it's a drain on the resources.
I'm going to move my king over. Maybe play c5.
Oh yeah, for the...
So, my plan of blocking out the bishop has worked for now. He should really be trying to play f3 as much as possible if he wants to get that bishop back alive again. So what happened was the plan changed when he played d5. Because the point being, have I taken, then his position just opens up and he probably destroys me, to be honest. So I had no choice but to push. But from attacking on the king side, which is what I really wanted to do, it turned into more restraining this bishop. So if that bishop ever comes alive, I'm in trouble. I can't ever push because he'll just take this pawn. So the h pawn's the one that's going to go for any sort of attack here, if I go for an attack. But I am just going to sidestep because he is controlling the c file quite nicely. This is a fantastic knight because there's no queen dropping around. Maybe he'll try and swap the knight off actually. That wouldn't be a bad idea because what's this one doing? It's coming here and in here? No. So actually knight here is actually a fair move because then I have to decide whether to I don't like this move so much because it's allowing my bishop to sneak in. I quite like, thank you. I quite like bishop b4 here. I also like a coffee. So, what to do? What to do? Oh, you know what? I can take this pawn. Because bishop takes, queen takes, rook takes, rook takes.
No, I was going to say, the spring doesn't work on a pump system, does it? Oh, I swung it.
Ah, no, it doesn't work. Ha! Or does it? No, it doesn't. Knight takes. Takes. Oh, no, it does work, because I think it... No, then he's got bishop takes check. King moves.
Honestly, people
Then he's got rook takes queen.
know, just because you've got a husband or a partner, Shao, you can't
But then I can move my rook. What's the material damage there? I mean, ultimately, I'm probably just going to play this move. I've got to say, it just seems right. My bishop's not doing anything on e7. And I don't really want to give up this good bishop for this not so good bishop. This good knight, sorry. But if I take, I should really try and work this out, right? Because if it's material, you should definitely have a look at taking it. So takes, 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 check. No, I can go here because he has to take that, and then I'll take his bishop. So I can take that pawn, but he seems so risky. But then what am I doing if I play bishop here? What's the follow-up? So queen somewhere. Let's say... Oh, he's only got one square, so that'll bring the queen back to here. You know what? I'm going to play it anyway, because I've still got the same threat. I've got the same threat of the queen back here, because it's only defended by this rook. Exactly the same. It's not exactly the same, because it won't be the rook taking back for this to work. So maybe I can't. Maybe I can't do this. Maybe I can't win this pawn.
To bother, but she said, "Oh well, I'm doing nothing today."
I lose control of the position completely if I do. Ah, bishop back. I didn't see that. I didn't consider it.
No.
I did not consider it. So bishop takes would equal queen takes, and then he's threatening. Well, not threatening anything, but
Oh no. Mind you, it was nice because
now his knight's coming in. Yeah, this was a bad plan. Maybe I should have just grabbed that pawn. Maybe I should have.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Well, I had a nice night last night. I was on the till all the time, but it didn't matter because there was no blind.
I like this move just because I'm attacking this pawn as well. I've got this on the horizon. So if bishop takes, knight takes, I'm attacking his rook and his queen. And I'm also now threatening just to take here as well. But he does have that. Oh wow, I've got a lot of things hanging here.
Would have been, but Wayne said no.
Oh dear. What have I done?
No, do you? Oh, and the best bit is.
What have I done?
Ashley said to me, "Well, do you want me to take over?"
Totally missed this
And I
one.
started laughing.
Oh my gosh, which is terrible because I was obviously looking at knight there as a first move.
I said, "No, I'll wait for Wayne."
Woof.
No, we haven't had the talk yet. Yeah. And I just thought, oh, well, this is nice. Oh, hold on a minute.
Great move.
Yeah, well, I think Dominic's angling to work in our shop. But
Because the problem is I can't take here because he's just going to take with a queen. And then when I defend this, say I go queen back to defend, he'll just take it anyway. Because if I take the knight, he just gets checked. But it's only check. It's not nice. It's not nice. Can I take this? It seems so risky.
No, I'm not though. I should sit by the ball.
If I take that,
I'm not taking no chances.
bishop takes. No, I don't have anything after that. I could just take the knight. Well played, Blaze. Gotta say, that was nice. Waited for his opportunity. Rope-a-dope and all that. Gave me lots of rope. And I walked straight into this.
And that's without mixing match ones.
So I'd rather this than getting mated or losing a whole piece. I've still got a bishop pair. It's gonna be, and a really good knight. So you got to stay positive in chess. And
As soon as I get up, I'll ring you.
I've got okay comp for now. Okay comp doesn't mean a lot. Can I just... Oh. Yeah. No. Oh, well, I can't really lose this pawn. Oh, my position's suddenly all sorts of ugly. And I've only got 2 minutes on my clock. So, I really wanted just to swing my rook over there, but he just takes and he's on my rook. So if he removes his knight, then he's just winning, because these 2 pawns are nasty. And they might be nasty anyway. I mean, pawn down, I'd have to take this bishop, because he is attacking this rook. And even after I take with the bishop, the queen would be attacking that rook, as well as threatening here. So I need to block the pawn pushes, and maybe, yeah, that's a good move again. Ugh, I think he's going to get one back, which, to be quite honest, I think he deserves. He's been a bit unlucky especially in the other game, the last game. Ugh. Getting done. Yeah, bishop takes c3 had its own problems on c7, and the fact that he was attacking my my light square bishop. I can look at it later. Yeah, this is just looking really bad. There's no way around this. Everything is looking bad. He can just swap off pieces. He's pretty much going to win. But got to try. Got to try. Yeah, I saw that camel clutch. I just don't know if it's any good. It's probably better than what's happened, right? Probably better than what's happened. Cheapos. I think you can just take, to be honest. Yeah, but it's opposite colour bishops, so my hope has gone right back up again. I'm only a pawn down in an opposite colour bishop ending. And as those have seen me swindle people before, this is exactly what I need. What I will say is blooming scary is that... see, this one I'm not too fussed about. I'm going to stop... Ooh, you get a check then. I am... because he's going to get his pawn right here. That is something, isn't it? I have no time as well, which is a little bit irritating. So I need to attempt to block this one off. So we'll start with this, because when he starts pushing this one, hopefully I can cut it off. And my king should be close enough to stop those pawns being too scary. Oh, cheers for following I Am Rosen. He's a quality streamer, that guy. Obviously, he's an international master as well. For those that don't see the obvious there. Rook here, eh? Okay, well, I've always got bishop. Whoop. I'd always have bishop here or here. So it should be alright. Oh, and he's giving me 21 viewers too. Cheers, dude. Thanks very much. I can also just put my rook here. It's just a bit ugly. I'll put my bishop there, funny enough. Just wonder how much I care. I don't really care about this. So I've got one move to make. So let's bring the king over. That makes sense. Let's bring the king into the game. And as I say, if that pushes one more time, then I'm going to play that. So let's bring the king in. So now the king's babysitting this square. But this has definitely got switched from win mode to hopefully draw mode. And that I was waiting for. So that's that bishop going away. Could try bishop here, I guess. I attack him with rook. Should move the rook. Hopefully bring up this way. Slash here, which is the only square that the bishop can defend that pawn. So let's try this. I am losing. Am I losing? No, I'm not losing that pawn because it's check. I'll take back with check. Well, I might have to take first, I guess is the point. No, because then he can take with the bishop. I've still got to be pretty careful here. Can easily ruin this. And I've only got 1 minute and 35 left. Yeah, I won't be signing up I Am Rosen for Chesspatzer. I haven't got the nerve to ask a title player to join my group. I'm pretty sure he's doing his own thing. I'd offer him a draw, but it's insulting because he is a pawn up. And he should put me under pressure for it. So now he is threatening. So just pawn up, I guess. Because I don't want him to take, because he'll win a pawn. Well, I can go here first. Pawn takes pawn. No, not yet. So I kind of like this move. Only because I do have his king trapped on the back rank. And his dreamland. But if I ever get a rook here, that's mate. So, don't mind that. So that's sensible. But now I can finally bring the rook in. So I should be winning this pawn. All I need to do is not blunder horribly. Has he blundered? I've got a check here. I think I have to play that first anyway. If I just take, then rook takes, king takes, and he queens. So you've got to watch out for that, which is why I want to play bishop back. And bishop back is with check. But is there something better? Really want this to work. I haven't got time. Because if he went that... He can't go that way. He'd have to go that way. No. Let's just check. Play pawn up.
Elizabeth, is the washing machine on, darling? Can you put that whitewash on?
I think I'm going to win the pawn anyway, Super, but you're probably not wrong. I just want to make 100% sure I don't get done with a cheapo queen, which definitely could have happened. And I've only got a minute. I am aware that my time is low, and it does play on my mind.
Yeah, don't forget you need your plugs to take to Sandy Balls. I've got to remember to take mine.
See, the irony of this situation is I'm going to be a pawn up in a minute. So you can always play bishop here to hold on to the pawn.
Just hope you don't forget anything.
And then I'll offer a draw. But we'll see. Time's infinite as long as I move Rooken. Yeah, that kind of play would hurt my rating quite a lot, Percy. Assuming that all the pieces on the board are my pieces. Now, bishop f8's okay. It's nothing. It's not strong. It's a draw. It's a draw because he can never shift this bishop. He can never win any of these pawns. I'm a pawn up over here. I don't see how he ever going to get to him. It's basically a draw. And I'm only playing on because he might blunder horribly. You just don't know. But just swap rooks, and it's pretty much swap rooks. Bishop f8. Yeah, here we go. Bishop f8 with the threat of queening with check. Yep. And then my king will go up the board, I think. Decisions. Because I could win this one, right? In Miracle Land, I could win that one. And I have to look after this pawn, but I was always looking after it with this, I guess. Whoops. This pawn's safe. Yeah, I think it's a draw. And he played really well in that game, and I totally missed the knight move, which was stupid, because I looked at it beforehand. So actually, bishop c3 was a great move, on reflection. On reflection. Bit loath to go to the dark squares. I don't have to go to the dark squares though, do I? Should I play this? See if I can get a pass pawn.
Down the side of the ladder.
I have no real illusions here. I'm pretty sure it's a draw no matter what. But we'll see. His king is pretty inactive. I mean, instead of king here, he should have been bringing his king forward, blocking these squares. I mean, he still can. I have a pass pawn, so does he. Don't forget that. He has one as well. That is a better move, because I don't have king up, which is obviously something you'd want to play, because he's just got check, which is annoying. Now I could defend the pawn this way, or I could just take it. And I've got 41 seconds, so... Gotta keep moving. Yeah, King E2 is blocked. My plan is still to try and sneak in to here if I can. Stop that. All dark squares, yeah, that's smart. So let's try this. I'm still after this pawn. Because it's quite hard for him to get his bishop back to defend it. He says, bringing it back to defend it straight away. But can I just play king back? If I win this one, I'll be happy. Carry on. It's pretty much a draw still. But I made him worry, I'm sure. He just has time, unfortunately. Unless I can get my king here. Which is worth a go. I'll get my king here. The pawn can move. Probably nowhere. But it's my last chance.
You close then, buddy.
Gonna get here. He's always got just here though, hasn't he? Let's tease him. Not yet, Blaze. It's going to be a draw, but you've still got a couple of moves to make. It's not a dead draw. Not yet. If he plays king here, then yes. Okay. Well played, Blazer. Great game. I got lucky. I got lucky in the game before and I got lucky there. But draws, absolutely great result for me. I'm very happy because I should have lost. And he held on well there at the end, where he went slightly wrong. But anyway, that was a great match, so I enjoyed that a lot. So what I'm going to do is, because this one's for YouTube, I'm going to log off now. There's another match later on tonight. It's ChesspatzerUK Wales versus ChesspatzerUK Canada. That's at 9 PM English time, British summer time. So please tune in for that. If you go onto my Twitter page, which is at ChesspatzerUK, you'll see all our up and coming matches. We've got another match tomorrow. Is Chesspatzer India versus Chespatzer Barnsley. And before that, Chespatzer India, who's a strong player, he's 2100 FIDE, is going to do a training video on how to improve your rating, no matter. So what he's basically saying is, he's been asked the question, I play so many rated games in tournaments, but my rating doesn't go up. So he's going to address that. So that'd be a good one to tune in for. But apart from that, I will announce all our other matches, up and coming matches. The only big one I've got currently on the horizon is the 1st of July. I'm playing Ginger64. He's a national master and a really nice chap, so that should be a good match. That's a handicap match where we'll both have 5 minutes on the clock. The winner losing a minute until we get down to the 1 minute portion. Whoever wins that 1 minute game wins the match. And so yeah, stay tuned and I'll be updating people as I go along. But cheers for that. Thanks a lot, Blazer O. And I'll speak to everyone soon.